Mate, come on. What are you doing? What on earth is that? I can see on it. Get out. Get out. What's going on, you lot? Welcome to Team of the Week. I'm Ben and I am joined by the man formerly known as Chris, now known as Christine. What on earth, mate? We've talked about this before. This is the thing. We've talked about this before at length. People commented, quite rightly, saying that you were clearly wearing something that was probably bought from the female section of ASOS.
Is this not office wear?
Mate, this the whole thing. Chris came in this morning wearing biker gloves. I mean, the guy's a shambles. What on earth?
We have had to stop filming a video once because there was too much glare off my shoes. Oh, you remember that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I hope that you're actually better at talking about football than you are with
dressing,
whole attire, and waking up in the morning and putting clothes on like normal people do. So, Team of the Week, Twitter vote as per usual, with Chris getting to change one player, me getting to change one player, and then a little debate over a really good one actually, like that Chris and I have been constantly having in the office over the last few weeks. Should we do the team? De Gea in goal, De Gea in goal, De Gea in goal, Baines at left back, Shawcross and Williams in the centre backs, Coleman at right back, Rashford joined by Herrera and Pogba and Mata. That is ridiculous off the bat. Jermaine Defoe and Zlatan up front. So a couple of things to note there from before we even get into this. Baines, Williams and Coleman getting in there.
Yeah, that's a very... First time Everton defenders have done anything all season.
Well, so no, not true against Arsenal as well. Coleman and Baines absolutely superb up and down those wings. Yeah, really weird looking team actually this week from you guys. So having the three Everton, although that they did well, having the three Everton guys in there, good to see Shawcross getting in there actually. But I quite like it when we have people in from other teams because I feel like the less fashionable
just a real mid-table clogger.
No, but
I mean, he is.
The less fashionable teams, that if someone has a really good game, they still don't get in because you get the likes of
Koscielny in every single week for being absolutely
Herrera
nothing.
In at centre midfield. And I think Pogba and Herrera were good this week, but it's more about like the fact that there's players who have outperformed those guys and should be in there. And you're going to tell me one of them right off the bat.
Yeah, because I don't think... I like Paul Pogba, and he has been very good lately. He's been fantastic lately.
You like Paul Pogba.
I'm a big fan of Paul Pogba. I'd rather have Ryan Shawcross. Not Ryan Shawcross. Robert Snodgrass in this week.
Snodgrass was
They're same initials.
So Snodgrass for me this week. Actually, over the whole Christmas period, I thought Snodgrass has been really, really good.
He's been firing in laser-guided free kicks. Yeah, he's been. He's a phenomenal footballer, and he shouldn't be, but he is. He's Scottish.
I think he's technically really
Scottish
nice.
People can't play football,
right,
but Robert Snodgrass exists.
Won't have that. He's Scottish.
After a fine start in 2017.
Mate, you are just on fire today. So Snodgrass, I think, has been really, really good, and I genuinely would have had him in over the top of. I thought Herrera was better than Pogba. I thought Herrera actually, and again, this is another thing. Maybe it's down to the fact that I played central midfield, but I have a real soft spot for people that do all the hard work that go unnoticed. So I think Herrera puts a lot of miles on the clock and also does a lot more for United. A lot like Carrick, there's a lot more for United than fans give credit for because obviously the showy players, more fashionable players get more talked about.
To be fair, I think even Pogba does a lot more than he gets credit for. Yeah, his tidying up his work is so much more than the kind of highlight reel player.
And also he's up there with the best passes in the league.
Yeah.
In terms of, if you watch the way that United play at the moment, he seems to be just on the ball all the time. He seems to be the guy that's picking up the ball out of the fence, but also looking to
Is he United's N'Golo Kante?
Oh no. Mike Dean is United's N'Golo Kante. We'll come on to that anyway. So my player that I'm taking out, sorry United fans, but I'm taking out David De Gea. I know he played well, but for me, Mannone, absolutely superb. I genuinely think, I've really thought that Sunderland were going to struggle without Pickford because Pickford was just insane. Like the guy was everywhere.
Question. Do Sunderland have the most goalkeeping depth in the league?
Yeah, all of a sudden starting to look really, really heavy with for goalkeepers. I also want to just give a little shout out to Jermaine Defoe. Yeah, I think that while he is in that Sunderland team, they have got a really good chance of staying up.
I think Sunderland will stay up, and I think he'll help.
He'll
be that.
Could have had a hat-trick, and they should have won that game, and that's really frustrating that they didn't. Let's move on to the kind of back and forth. Now, Chris is in love with Olivier Giroud.
Obviously.
Just everything that Giroud does, Chris just seems to go crazy for. So the player that we're going to discuss this week is the up-front position. So at the moment, you guys had Zlatan in. We're not taking Defoe out. So Zlatan is up. Position is up for grabs. Always seems like Zlatan's position up for grabs. Seems just snide in every week. So Zlatan's position is up for grabs. You're going to make the case for Olivier Giroud, so make that first.
So what I want you all to do is go to Twitter, search in Giroud Scorpion, watch that, and then we're good, I think. No, look, it's so much more than that guy. Even in the game, the horrible game against Bournemouth last night, he 2 assists and a goal. You know, he is... Do you know how many games in all competitions Olivier Giroud has started in and not scored in this season?
So he's got an amazing record this season.
But he has scored in every game he started.
I think the point, though, is if you ask Arsenal fans, they still don't want to see Giroud
look, we've
start.
established that Arsenal fans are basically idiots.
No! Like, they're not all idiots. 95%.
Just mostly.
Like, no, I think the thing is, like, Arsenal fans don't want to see him start for a reason because he affects the way that the team plays. And they would rather see after Alexis, when Alexis is looking more and more annoyed by the week at the moment. Yeah. For me, I think he was really thriving in that up-front position. Wenger's changed it. And it doesn't look as steady.
Well, I've got a thought about this, and I think I've discussed this with Troops in the past. I think if Arsenal come down to a choice between Sanchez and Ozil, keeping one of them, let Ozil go, sell him in the summer, bring in 25, 30 million if they can. But bring in someone like Isco, because what that will do is it will because you won't have to accommodate Ozil in that team anymore, and you can play Sanchez and Giroud as an actual front two in the same way that Giroud plays with Griezmann for France.
Right,
because Giroud is
made this argument a lot about this too, about
he's
the target man
incredible,
thing. I'm still not
incredible target man. He's a brilliant hold-up play, plays other people in so well, and he's probably the best aerial striker in the Premier League.
I think he's decent in the air, but I don't think he's anywhere near as good as you're making out. I also take issue with the Scorpion goal. I think we're going to have a separate conversation about that with Scott later on, and that'll be on the comment show for you to have a look at.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bring in the United fan.
Yeah, exactly. For a bit of support. Yeah. I want to put as my option for the outstanding forward of the week, or the man who made the difference up front, Mike Dean. I think he's going to be my option instead of Giroud, instead of Zlatan. I want Mike Dean in there because I think that he literally won that game for Man United.
Box Office Dean.
Yeah, and now this is where you lot are gonna are probably gonna change quite a lot of how you feel about what I've just said. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that Mike Dean is so incredibly box office. In fact, I think we should embrace it. I think we're at a point now where football is all like there's so much drama. Let's get on board. I love, don't get me wrong, I cannot stand the fact that referees make bad decisions, but for some reason, when I see Mike Dean doing a no-look yellow card, or when I see him doing a step over of a ball that's moving 1 mile an hour that he could easily just avoid by standing to one side, but he does the little step over.
Mark Clattenburg's come and get me call for the Chinese Super League.
Clattenburg issuing a come and get me plea for the Chinese Super League. Oh, it would be a dream come true for me. I've always dreamed about moving to China and refereeing out there
on pitches that don't have grass.
Exactly. And who else did we have?
Michael Oliver's Tramlines.
Tramlines. I mean, what on earth? It's just so good. I actually think we might get to a point where the referees no longer lead the teams out. The teams come out and then they announce the teams
referee. Lead the referee out.
Do you know what I mean? They announce the referee at the end.
Do you think we could do this wrestling style and have like celebrity refs?
Yeah, exactly. And it's Mike,
guest refs.
Mike the no-look Dean. Like he'd like erupt out and everyone would go absolutely mental. And I think this is the thing, right? Is that we're at a point now already where the big games, we spoke about this earlier, the big games, they say who the referee is going to be, and it's already a talking point.
It's a news story.
Let's go the whole hog. Let's instead of getting like hyped about the game, let's get. Can we give them entrance music? Exactly, Mike.
What would Mike Dean's entrance song be?
Giroud, Sandstorm, obviously. Yes. After the other day. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen that, but blowing that whistle like the way that he did. I think I started falling in love with Mike Dean partly because he just awards Tottenham penalties whenever he feels like, which is fantastic. About 15 red cards for the opposition in any given week for Tottenham, which is amazing. Obviously, that's not possible. But I think what it was either the Otamendi shrug.
Oh, that was great.
Or there's some really old footage. Actually, two others. Really old footage of him giving a penalty and getting so low to the ground while he gave the penalty. I just thought, this guy, agility as well. He's got the lot. The guy's got everything.
This is the complete package.
And then the celebration after the Dembele goal last year. Just amazing. I realise this is the Team of the Week show and I shouldn't be spending so long talking about the referee, but...
Hey, he's the man of the week.
He, for me, is the option up front. He's also Dick of the Day because on a serious level, he absolutely bastardised and ruined that game of football. And there's obviously an issue there that's very, very separate. Jokes aside, he's actually destroyed that game.
He's a terrible referee.
And just
doesn't help.
And quite clearly a bit of a twat as well. That you just can't get away from.
I can sympathise with that, I think.
But you literally, you and him are like blood brothers. But for me, there's just something about it. I laugh.
Mike Dean should referee in this shirt.
No one ever should wear that shirt ever. There's something
about.
If
you wear it for the comment shirt.
Look, I tell you what. If Giroud finishes with more goals than Harry Kane this season, I will wear that shirt.
That's obviously not going to happen.
If Giroud, yeah, that is true. So for me, Mike Dean, there's just something about him. It's the arrogance. He's a throwback for me to the old school refereeing guys like Jeff Winter, Uriah Rennie, David Ellery,
Pierluigi Collina.
Yeah, exactly. These guys that they had something about him. Phil Dowd.
Phil Dowd.
I despise Phil Dowd, but I loved him at the same time. There was something about him shaking his head and looking so unbelievably arrogant while he was sending someone off that even though I hated him, at the same time I was like,
does this mean we're getting old and we're just harking back to the old school refs?
No, I don't think so because Mike Dean is...
Mike Dean's next level. Mike Dean we've never had anything like Mike Dean before.
Whether it's current, Mike Dean is trending. That guy is literally I'm sure, I swear, I think Mike Dean saw that video of the camp referee, the one that's
Yeah.
I reckon he saw that video and was like, Jesus, this guy, he's gone viral. How do I achieve this? Anyway, so that's the vote for you guys. And I think on a more serious level, you can vote for Mike Dean. And that would instead not be a vote to say Zlatan was rubbish or Giroud was...
We hate United.
It's more a vote to say that I think we understand that Mike Dean quite clearly influenced that game in a way that he shouldn't and it actually ruined the game. And for West Ham fans... also a little bit tragic from you guys in that it took the referee ruining a game for you lot to stand up and sing. And
to be fair, it took 5 minutes for that to happen as well because the amount of distance the images had to travel
to get
across the running track all the way out to the stands.
So Mike Dean is Dick of the Day as well. Genuinely a little bit annoyed about that one. Any other stuff to report, Chris Dealey, before we leave?
I don't think so.
I think we've pretty much covered it.
We've taken our time covering it.
Horrible tangent talking about referees. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm interested to know what you guys think. I know you lot are going to think that I've lost my mind. But is there anyone out there that is a little bit in love with Mike Dean?
I'd be all right with
little bit. I would love to know if there's any of you out there that are. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to spread the word, tell your mates, subscribe below, and we will see you all next time.